I'm surprised that I didn't burst into tears at least 10 times while filming this movie.
Zuhair Kashmiri once made a promise to bring his father, the legendary early Bollywood scriptwriter Aghajani Kashmiri's life to screen.
Just before he died in 1998, he'd published an autobiography in Hindi and Urdu, Seher Hone Tak and Subah Hone Tak in Hindi, which was published in the late 60s, early 70s in India. And before he was dying, he said, do something with my autobiography. He says, it was a very different, very unique life. I don't think either you or your children will ever experience that kind of life. So I did. I gave him a promise. The golden pen is half of the promise.
This idea intrigued Zuhair's friends, filmmakers Howard Bernstein and Lani Zalecki.
It's such a fascinating story. It was a pleasure to, I said yes instantly. Not to mention the fact that I made the trip to India, which is never a bad thing.
The Golden Pen documents the amazing life of Aghajani Kashmiri, who scripted dialogues and screenplays for many a Hindi film from the 1940s to the 70s, including Jungli, Love in Shimla and Ziddi.
Well, Bollywood at the time was real stories, real life. They were coming out of colonialism, out of the British Raj. There was a new country being built, and a lot of the themes were around that. There were challenges which my dad seemed to always want to gamble with.
But how did the award-winning director approach a subject she had very little knowledge of?
I felt like I was asking Cash a lot of very stupid questions, because I really approached this as someone who, up till then, the time I started watching his father's movies, had not seen Bollywood movies in their entirety. In fact, he looked at it in some way as being refreshing, that we would come to it with fresh eyes.
As the three-member team travelled through the streets of Lucknow, Mumbai and Toronto to relive the celebrated scriptwriter's life, they soon realised how much Kashmiri was loved and respected in his country.
It was so astonishing to meet famous people who literally almost knocked themselves out to find ways to do an interview that was often inconvenient and difficult.
It's the last interview Shami Kapoor ever gave in his life. It's the last interview Joy Mukherjee ever gave in his life. And Nimi actually had pneumonia
at the time.
And when she was, even with pneumonia, when she was well enough to do the interview, she said, for Agha Jani, I have to do this.
Through his father's story, Zuhair hopes to take viewers back to the simpler days of Bollywood.
I'm hoping that people get an idea of how Bollywood started, what early Bollywood was, so they can see the evolution to today's cinema and the people that actually created the building blocks of the movie that today has taken the world by storm.
But these 47 minutes of part travelogue, part commentary also combines a very important Canadian theme. It resonates with many an immigrant story whose celebrity is lost after moving to a new country.
Cash's dad came to Canada and left a country where he was a very famous man, and he came here and he was anonymous. And I think we'd like to capture that and basically say to Canadians, just because someone comes from someplace else doesn't mean they don't have a terrific story to tell.
You can walk down the streets of Bollywood and trace it back to its roots through the Golden Pen. It premieres at the Real World Festival on April 13th. For details, you can log on to realworld.ca. For Omni News, I'm Sushmita Rao.